Good afternoon, everyone. We are here for our final event. We are going to present our proposal. We are prepared and our group member is अपने दिशाली सब कुछ अपने दिशा पर energy. It is that according to study that multi-phase converters have lots of drawbacks, and the drawbacks are low power efficiency, low power density, and in case of low voltage application, there is resistance circuit. And in order to overcome that drawback, we come up with our series proposed circuit. And according to our theory, we're going to show what was our goal and how we approach it and how it's going to be useful in future work. Our thesis goal is to design a single stage power converter, and according to classical two-stage approach, we can see that there is a two-stage where the input is rectified and on the next stage it is stepped down by step-down transformer. But in our converter, it will see that we only use single stage where we neither use rectifier nor we use step-down transformer. And in this diagram you can see, and in our physics we use the concept of bus converter and bus converter. In case of bus, it is used that input voltage is stepped down, and in case of bus converter, the input voltage is inverted and stepped down. Though there is a common part capacitive part, therefore we can merge it together to build a new circuit that is used in our proposed converter. And due to the create a high power factor, good conversion efficiency, and without using any step-down transformer. The proposed converter model will be explained by my next partner, Saleh. Thank you, Azizpur. Good afternoon, everyone. I am Adil Zaid, and I am presenting our proposed converter model. Here is our proposed converter model. You can see that we have this is our bus converter, and it consists of the MOSFET T1, our inductor diode, and this capacitor and load. Our goal is, our aim is to run this bus converter in the area of input, and it will run only on the positive subcycle of the input. And in parallel, we have, you can see in the machine, we have a bus and bus converter. It consists of Q2, diode C2, S2, and with our common part, which is our C and load. And then you will see something right, and this is our mode of operation. Our proposed converter is running on 4 modes of operation. The first mode, when you can see, we are turning on our MOSFET T1, and our bus converter is turned off. So the input current is flowing through this inductor and going to this capacitor and load. In the second mode, when our MOSFET T1 is off, so the inductor is running to capacitor, to diode, and running to the load as well. This is our third mode, and in the third mode, our bus converter is turned off, and the bus converter is turned on by this P2 MOSFET. Then the negative current, though we are running this thing in a negative cycle, so the negative current is going to this direction and coming back to this load. And when we turn off this MOSFET, there is a current from this inductor, it will go to this part and it will come in the load. Here we can see that in the positive upcycle, the current is from up to low, and the negative upcycle, the current is same as up to low. So we can say that our input is AC, so our output is decreasing in the load. Here is our simulation model, where this is our bus and bus converter, and the gate is controlled by 2 passive modulation circuits. So now let's see what is the passive modulation circuit. Here we design our circuit modulation circuit with a repeat sequence and a pulse generator. This is our repeating calculator pulse sequence and this is pulse generator, and you have an AND logic between them. So using AND logic we get this output. Then we have a comparator where the output of the AND logic and the constant voltage is compared, and when the 4 voltage we have done in the experimental, when the output of the AND logic is up to 4 plus 4, then only it will give a pulse. Can you see that? Only when it is up to 4, it will give a pulse. Now, this is the case of our proposed converter. Our input is 220 volt DC voltage, and in the positive half cycle we are running gate Q1, and this is giving our pulse rate. In the negative half cycle we are using we are using the gate 2, and electricity is only operating on the negative half cycle. So let me say that for 220 volt input we are getting a 12 volt of DC voltage in the output. This is our circuit parameter that we use for converter. Our input is 220 volt, up to 12 volt. We have the converter of 12 milliamp, and this is 447 milliamp. And for load, when we have a load of 50 ohm. Okay. This is our basic equation that we understand from the for electricity, that bus output voltage is the equation that output is O naught to V, and V8 is the voltage that we input. This is the bus output voltage. Here you see this is the negative sign, that means whatever goes with the input, it will invert it and goes to the output. This is our source voltage. This is a positive sign, that is a 220 volt sign. And our indicator is denominated 2. What indicator is denominated is 0.1. It impacts on the harmonics of our converter. For further extension of the harmonics, we are inviting my colleague Sapatangle for the presentation.
Thank you, Hasan. So far, we see our goal of introducing smart proposed converter and its simulation. Now I am going to describe the HTML part of this proposed converter. Here comes the question: what is FFT? FFT, or fast Fourier transform, is an algorithm which computes the discrete Fourier transform and its inverse. In a simple word, it can be said that it is the converse time domain, frequency domain, and vice versa. Here you can see the diagram of our input current of the proposed converter. In our thesis work, we do FFT analysis to find out what is the field. According to IEEE standard 519, the recommended practices and requirements for harmonic property electronic electric power system, harmonic is a sinusoidal component of periodic wave or quantity having a frequency that is an integer multiple of fundamental frequency. So, harmonic distortion refers to the distortion factor of a voltage or current waveform with respect to a pure time. We calculate PAT to find out how better our power factor is. Here you can see the FFT analysis of the input current of our proposed converter, and here we can see the PAT is 49.88%. Now we are going to see single phase half wave rectifier. There is a single wave half wave rectifier, and we do that also do the FFT analysis. Here you can see the input time and the FFT analysis, and also mention that the PAT is 171.5%. If we compare this to, it can be easily observed that the yes, having the same fundamental frequency, which is 50 Hz, our proposed converter is far better than the single phase half wave rectifier.
Difference between our proposed 15 and What is the advantage? Will be
by this, where
what is the advantage? What is the rate of surrender? Explain it.
In this model, we say that if we do the Fourier transform of the input signal, both input
Voltage, current, or what is the
current.
input current? Still there. Still thing. What is that?
Input current is the Fourier transform. We can see, suppose I'm taking 0. If our Fourier transform has a 0 value, then we can see voltage. If we have a 0, our converter have is almost 50% of magnitude of the frequency. But if we use we have done the compared with the half-wave converter, they have almost 75% of magnitude of the frequency. So we say that ours is better than the converter.
What is the difference? Beta and why? Which one is better? The red one is better or the blue one is better?
The red one is better than the red one is better because we have less dark conduct distortion. We get only 49.88%.
The blue one had
1.5%.
now we are going to see some simulated output with some variable loads. For the 50 ohm load, we can see the output voltage is 12 volts and the input output current is 0.24 ampere. And for 100 ohm, the output voltage increased to 12.6 volts and the input current is 0.14 ampere. Input output current.
So is it that the current has reduced? Current has decreased, or is it? Can you go back to the last slide? The last slide again. Oh no, sorry. So over here the current was 5.4. The next one. So the current decreased because our voltage increased here. The voltage has increased. Okay.
For 250 ohm, the 250 ohm, the voltage is up to 39 volts, 30.9 volts, and the current is 0.055 ampere. So here you can see the voltage is fluctuating, but also that it affects the both distribution system equipment and the load connected to it. And so overcome this problem, I like to introduce my friend Dr.
As we see that varying the load is resulting different output voltage. This is very problematic. So what we are doing is using a positive controller with our pulse converter. Now logic that we deal with which cannot be expressed as true or false or rather than true or false. Here is a given fuzzy logic diagram. This is our input A and this is B. Now here we are giving some rule base here, and here we are getting some pulse width. Now, these are rule base here. Here is something. Go back to the last slide. You are getting two functions over there. What is happening for the? Yeah, this rule base is operating in the first law. So are they using any kind of how are they compiling the two? What is the function of that one? It's a function. Sir, when the it's working like when A is
formula, we have our function P and function P energy. So that when our we have function 5 member function with the positive A and 5 member function with the positive P. So where is the A is the negative side, we given 12 place of the member function negative side, negative flow, positive flow and positive side. So we can get unified roots from this block. That when our A is negative side, B is negative side, this will be we are getting an output with the first bit of positive side. It gives from the root that is known as minimum maximum roots of this particular formula. And by this we are getting an output as we need it. As we have stated some unified roots that can operate the project and give us the output will be based on that function. On the solution, what we need. And is it the output is always positive output? Not always positive, it can be negative. But it is not the output that we can say, we say that it is not that true or false. It can think like anyone and do whatever it wants. And what we need is, that is the most important thing.
Actually, you are because something like that, in general, something we want.
Yes.
There is some variation, some number of one thing. But in the real case, these transitions are not already known. Sometimes that position can be compared to something. It is not human or something like that. It will be something. Okay, now you have a regular timing hand. Please move forward. The instrument controller. Here we can. Here is this software is working by the PWM controller. And here the Q1 is working by the controller. Here is our and over here is our beekeeping 3 volt constant DC voltage. Now what is happening is when we compare what drop we are getting a pulse when the voltage when the peak voltage is voltage of 3 or above 3 is very high. Move forward. Next slide. When we will change or vary the load, then when we will increase the volt, when we will increase the load, then the voltage will also increase. And what we have to do is reduce the volt. It is not true. You are whenever the load is increased, output voltage will decrease. You have to again increase the output voltage. Okay. If you tell it the resistance is increased, then output voltage will obviously increase. So we have to change by the time. Either load resistance or load. So we are going to load. That means if load is increased, if you tell that load resistance, then it is okay. Proportional value. Okay. When the voltage is high, we have to increase the voltage. Now, what we are doing, we are just increasing the DC voltage. So we have increased the voltage from 3 to 4. Then we are getting small. Then we are getting a small wave of the pulse. And then when we will reduce the voltage, then we are getting higher weight on the pulse. But actually, you are not controlling it. Yes, so we always go and control usage. PI controller uses this technique with the device control the issue. That is the point. You are not controlling it. So output voltage is which is now constant at 12 for different for variation of load resistance. We are saying that for 50 ohm, we are saying that it's constant at 12, then for 100, also constant at 12, for 250, setting up at 12. Okay, can you please move forward? Here we can see that in PWM, the output voltage is varying with the load. There is the advantage of positive logic controller is that setting time is it needs more time to set the voltage temperature. If PWM it takes 23 minutes and everybody it gets 42 minutes, but it is really negligible amount of time, so it's not doing any kind of.
So do you think that by sacrificing this amount of time you are getting a much better output use of the logic instead
But it's not everything or in our real life, but we are getting the. We will obviously just real life. Because CP matters because two community will bring it. If one cycle or community will bring it.
obviously you can imagine obviously anyways move forward.
So summary that first we have converter with bucket and buckles, then we have some we have done number 12 we have done while we are doing PWM we have got that the load the voltage battery with load. Then what we have done is using fuzzy logic circuit with our circuit. Then we have got a then we have got a 12 volt and 12 volt, but we are not using any kind of transformer or anything. Just we are just using we're not using any kind of transformer. So it is reducing our proposed circuit reducing like.
I have one question. It's only one question, but I have already asked the thing that I really want to know from you guys during the presentation. Just one more thing that I would really like to know from you is that would we replace the MOSFET that you have used in would we replace the MOSFET that we have used in the circuit? Instead of using the MOSFET, what would happen if we not use the MOSFET? What are the uses of MOSFET for electrical meters? Now go back to the slide. Okay, yeah. Over here, Q2 and Q1. What are those?
What are the MOSFETs?
Okay. What are the uses of those
It is
MOSFETs?
operating by the pulse revolution control.
What are the uses of those MOSFETs?
Why we are using
MOSFET has what is the use of those MOSFETs?
So why we are giving the if people use MOSFET, that was via short circuit repair. But how we can control the input voltage?
Any other suggestion for that? I do not want to use any MOSFET. Any other suggestion? Anything else?
Then we can use a thyristor or we can use for example transistor. We need a component that can control the pulse.
What is not like would that say lower compression law and lower operating law? This is nothing of device. Lower switching law and lower compression. Actually, this is what is this? This is a switch. Actually, we use here as a switch. Okay, so there are many switching devices. Okay, we have to think which one will be better for the rule of this conversion law and power law. Now, what is the relationship between the switching law and conversion of power function? Which one is high or which one is lower? And both are equal. What do you think? What is that for? You can see some idea that we are using this device. So anytime maybe this device is not available for you. So maybe what would be the alternative for this device or anything that we can use for switching, right? Okay. Maybe here over here. Thank you for your work. I also say I think you have shown so many diagrams. What is yes,
Sir, what are your
so it is a software code algorithm.
Sir, it is an algorithm which computes the discrete Fourier transform and increase.
Algorithm is a regular Thank you. example. And that is